Okay.
All right, yo, we back at it again. Another episode of Unapologetically Black. What up,
What up?
man? You know me, man. Back at this thing again. Damn near missed it. just cause
I
time
wasn't gonna
slipped
tell
past
nobody
me,
on you.
man.
I wasn't gonna tell nobody that you
Man,
missed it.
time has slipped past me, and I don't know what was going on. I was just down here chilling at my table. That's where I'm at right now. The wife is sick, so I'm not in the room.
Mm,
Kids is upstairs, they all over the place. So I'm down here at the table, chilling with the wall as the background. So
there you
but
go.
anyway, how's your day going? How's your Saturday going?
Man, I can't complain. I got up this morning. Well, the only thing I can't complain about is I got up this morning, ran some errands before I had to go to work, and I stopped to get a coffee on the way home. Right. Now part of my errands was I was filling up the gas tank in the wife's van, and she got the nice van with the heated seats on that John. Right.
Mm,
So after I did everything, I stopped to get a coffee on the way home, and somehow I dropped the coffee, but I dropped it perfectly between my legs on the seat, and I had drank enough of the coffee. And this is iced coffee, by the way.
okay.
So I had drank enough of the coffee to where I didn't lose a whole lot, and I magically was able to catch it. Like it's like the best way possible to drop a coffee. Like I
Mm-hmm.
only lost like a sip, slurped the coffee. You know what I'm saying? The ice didn't come out. You know, I didn't make a big mess or anything like that. But
Right.
mind you, I said heated seats,
Mm,
and all the coffee that did fall landed on the seat, and a car seat is tilted. So
mm-hmm.
so I had iced coffee running against the heated seat down to my ass and nuts. So that part was
Uncomfortable.
not great at all. But that was the worst part of my day. After that, went back to the crib, made breakfast, went to work, went to work out at the gym, came home, had a good dinner. I'm having a brewski and I'm
Oh.
all unapologetically black.
Oh man, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. Tonight, Britt and Jamal are out for the evening. They are off having some good old family time. But in their absence, me and Brad gonna take over this thing. I know y'all don't really want to see them no way. Y'all just really tune in to see me. But it's okay, Britt. We'll catch y'all on Tuesday
You know what's
when we
funny?
do our
You know,
episode again.
as soon as you said that, you know how Brittany responded, "I'm dead."
Mm. But yeah, man, my day has been I don't say it's been a day. It's just took the kids to these ungrateful little bastards to Second and Charles. And if you've never heard of Second and Charles, it's pretty much like a cheap version of Barnes and Noble,
Okay.
right? And these uncultured motherfuckers was like, oh man, it's boring. It's what daddy, what is this? I'm like, look, man, like you got nice comics, like you got mangas everywhere, you got books that people read, you got vinyl records that people can play, you got instruments in the back, a good, well-rounded store where people like to go. I'm like, look, they even got games at the front. You know what I'm saying? They got the PS4, PS3, the Nintendo 64, they got retro shit.
I don't know how I feel about you calling your kids uncultured motherfuckers. Them your
They are
kids.
uncultured. They are uncultured
It's your
motherfuckers.
job to
That's what
culture
they.
them.
I'm trying, but when I take them to places like Second and Charles, they don't like it. So I'm like, man,
Hey,
yeah, boy, y'all.
hey, bro. I so want my sons to get into basketball and wrestling just like me. They will not get into it at
Now,
all.
he'll do that all day. My oldest, he'll play basketball all day long if I let him go outside. We'll shoot. I am not uncultured, Brittany.
But
I'm
here's
not.
the best part about so my youngest son, right? This was like this was 2021 playoffs. I was watching the Phoenix play against whoever they were playing, right? It was a playoff game, and it was time for my son to go to bed, but he just
Mm-hmm.
started watching the game intently, and I'm like, you like basketball? He's like, yeah, like this is great. Homie ain't watched a basketball game since. All he did was just use me so he could
just,
stay up
just
late.
stay awake. Yeah.
Man,
No,
man.
my son they actually watch the game. They actually chill and pay attention to it. So I'm like, okay, that's cool and all.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo. Oh, excuse me, my bad. But
you're
I'm
good.
like, he'll play it. Or he'll play, he'll watch, he'll do all that good stuff. And hopefully I was telling him, I was like, look, bro, what you're not gonna do is end up like Jordan Poole was this
Man,
weekend, laying on the ground,
man.
slumped out, because your teammate done knocked you out. Like, bro, you
Somebody
better
had
throw
to
them.
go hit him with that Chris Tucker. You got knocked the fuck out. I saw that video. Was
Man,
like, yo,
you better throw them things. I don't care what nobody say.
bro, the
Throw them
disrespect,
things.
the disrespect.
Disrespect. If I'm Jordan Poole, bro, I can't play for the Warriors no more because it's different, right? So like you heard the issue when Draymond had called KD a bitch on court, which is one of the reasons why KD left Golden State, right?
Yep.
That's just calling you something. Imagine if Draymond had like hit KD. Bro, if you gotta leave because somebody called you out your name, you damn sure can't stay after he done punched you in the face on video, and now the whole world done seen it. Niggas done made reenactment videos. RDC done already made a reenactment video of the shit.
Man, the
Bro,
one
you
thing,
gotta leave. You
the
gotta
one,
leave.
the one thing that I think about, uh, not even I thought about. I was listening to a podcast actually today, and they made me think about like, there's stories of like Jordan punching Steve Kerr in the face,
Right.
and I feel like Kobe might have punched somebody too. But
Nah, Kobe wasn't throwing them things. Kobe got his shit rocked on TV. That's right there. That right there loses Kobe the GOAT conversation all day long. He got
the,
his shit rocked on TV and did nothing.
but the point I want to make is that like when Jordan did that, we didn't have smartphones, we didn't have
Yeah,
camera
yeah, yeah.
phones,
We didn't know about it. We didn't know about
right?
it until Steve Curry brought it up. Sometime on down the line, like they had already been done. They were both retired from basketball and everything.
Yeah,
Imagine
I don't think I
if
heard of
that
it
had
until the Last
happened
Dance.
and we had found out right as it happened or right after it happened. Like, if I'm Steve Kerr, bro, like you can't play with Jordan no more.
Yeah,
You gotta fight.
yeah,
You
and
gotta fight.
man, and then the podcast I was listening to, they were saying that like this is that you can make an argument that Draymond's attitude has cost them at least two championships, and this might be a third because
Okay.
if he doesn't swing at
What
LeBron in the nuts in the 2016 finals, he doesn't get suspended. They win Game 5, they win the chip.
I don't use that because the thing is they talking about, okay, they ended up losing game 5. Like, okay, yeah, but you were still up 3-1 even after like you still had games 6 and 7,
True.
both which Draymond played in. He's only suspended game 5, which you were up at that point.
Don't
So you end up game 4, you're up 3-1.
don't let me get on the basketball tip because this will end up being a basketball podcast. That's not what you're supposed to do. When
I just like to point that out though.
when Draymond got suspended,
But let's say,
that
okay, we give him that one. Draymond got suspended, so that cost him that championship.
no. But yeah, okay, all right, fine. We won't make a sports podcast, right? And then the other one, which is arguable, I don't agree with this one, but if it's back to what you were saying, if Draymond doesn't call KD a bitch, then maybe
Oh,
KD doesn't
maybe
leave.
KD stays and they
Yeah,
do another.
yeah,
Nah, because you had already lost that championship anyway, right? Just
that's
due to injuries. So you lost the 2019 championship anyway, just because KD was hurt. KD hurt, Clay hurt, Steph playing bad, but he's halfway hurt too. And then Draymond was never good enough to score on a basketball team anyway. Iggy's old. Like, the rest of the team is full of bums. So you lose that game. You're going to lose that championship anyway if KD and Steph are hurt. Now, if KD's healthy. You've seen what happened in the first 11 minutes of that game when KD was healthy. They beat them niggas by damn near 20 before KD got hurt again. But
Toronto wins that series even if KD is healthy, but that's neither here nor there.
what?
Don't make me make this a basketball.
They don't win if KD is healthy. They don't. The Raptors do not win if KD and Steph are healthy. You are high as
Steph
giraffe
was
pussy.
healthy.
If you believe, no stress. Steph was not healthy. Steph was
Healthy.
injured. Clay was
No,
out. And
no.
KD was out.
Clay got
Yes,
hurt in
Steph was
Game
not
6.
healthy.
Steph played the whole
Steph was
series.
playing. And I give you that. Steph was playing, so even if you're not hurt, you still play. But Steph was not healthy. He
Steph
was
was healthy.
injured.
He
He
was
was just
healthy. He was
playing
not injured.
injured.
He was not injured. He was
He
not injured.
was.
He was
He
not
was just
hurt.
playing
He
that
was
way.
balling out of control. That Toronto
He
team was
was
better.
not
That
balling
Toronto
out of
team.
control.
That Toronto team
And
would
even
have
then,
beat
even
anyway.
if you give him that, it's just Steph. Who else? Because Clay's injured. Clay's out.
Clay didn't get
He's out.
Clay didn't get injured till Game 6.
Clay is out. KD is out.
Game 6.
Clay and
All right.
KD are
All
both
right.
out.
We got to move on. But let me tell you this, because basketball is what I do. Toronto won both regular season matchups against Golden State that year, including
Okay.
winning in Golden State without Kawhi when the full Golden State team was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Lowry,
We all know that the regular season don't
OG
mean shit
and
in basketball.
but it do.
We
All
all
right,
know that.
we
We
got to
all
move
know
on.
that.
So
Golden
Kanye said
State
white lives matter.
legit
We not gonna keep doing this. We not
slept
gonna
through the
keep doing
playoffs,
this.
slept through the regular season, and then swept the playoffs.
They didn't sweep the
They
playoffs that
legit
year.
did. No, not that year. The year before. The
That was
year
2
that
years
they
before.
went. The year that they went 73-9, they legit like slept through the the year after. After
2017.
they went 73-9.
I know what you're talking
They
about.
slept through the regular season. These niggas was not trying.
But
They
that's not
slept
that's
and
not 2 years
then
later in
swept
2019.
and then swept the playoffs. Come on, bro. They was killing niggas in the playoffs. It
That's
wasn't
not 2
even
years.
fair.
That's 2 years before 2019. A lot of things happened in 2 years. Like Kawhi Leonard getting healthy because they was about to lose that game 1.
Why is a benefit of
Woo. All right,
luck?
we gotta move on.
Luck.
We gotta
I
move
don't
on.
understand a more lucky nigga than Kawhi Leonard. I
Oh my
swear to
God,
God.
we gotta move on. How's he lucky? We gotta move on. We gotta move on.
The Spurs. Let's argue that.
We gotta move on.
The Spurs, luck.
We gotta move
Raptors, luck. Ain't did shit in LA. Since he been there. Been there 3 years. Ain't did shit. I just want to point that out.
We gotta move on because we can't make this a basketball. We've been talking 12 minutes about basketball.
I'm just saying.
What's next on the list? We gotta move.
Kanye saying that white lives matter, and then defending it.
I already had this conversation.
So look, then Kanye defends it, and this is what irritates me, right? I've been a huge advocate for Kanye. Like, Kanye is not a part of our spectrum when it comes to everyday life. And what I mean by that is like Kanye's not a regular nigga, like Jay-Z and them. They're on a whole nother spectrum, right? So when Kanye don't know some shit, it's because Kanye's not a part of the actual world. He's on a whole nother level of the world with the rest of the billionaires and the motherfuckers, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe Kanye's not in touch when he says certain shit. But then saying white lives matter and saying that your dad, like he said his dad thought it was a joke, and so he wore it jokingly, but then brought all these other people into it. Like, I don't understand Kanye.
I just want somebody.
Kanye, give me a headache.
I just want somebody somewhere, anywhere, to show me tangible evidence that somebody somewhere said white lives don't matter. That's never been said. So I don't understand why people hear the term Black Lives Matter and automatically equate that to white lives don't matter. I don't understand how we're that reductive. I do understand it because we're stupid. But
people take Black Lives Matter and make it seem like we're saying only Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
That's what irritates me. Is you take that and you be like, well, other lives matter too. Well, no shit. But we're saying Black Lives Matter because when we turn on the TV, you're not the one being gunned down in the middle of the street. It's not you. Becky ain't calling the cops, or Karen is not calling the cops on you, Mr. White Man. She's calling them on us. So we're telling y'all, hey, Mr. White Man, hey, Mr. Asian Man, you do understand that Black lives also matter. That's probably what they should have changed the name to. Black lives also matter. And that's what I'm gonna change to. Black lives also matter, because they take the shit. They believe that we're saying only Black lives matter, and that's not what we're saying.
But we shouldn't have to do that. And you're right. It's always meant Black lives also matter, or Black lives matters too. That's what it's always meant, right? But it's October. We're October 8th. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Now, if I were to say, hey, all cancers matter, Black lives matter, or Black lives matters too, that's what it's always meant, right? But it's October. We're October 8th. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Now, if I were to say, hey, all cancers matter,
Yeah, motherfuckers will get irritated.
Right? Exactly. And if you were to say it's breast cancer awareness month, does that mean that we don't care about other cancers? That means that lung cancer don't mean
Yeah.
shit? No. What?
What about prostate cancer? That kills. What about colon cancer?
Yeah.
It's like no shit. We understand that all of these other cancers matter, but right now we're only focusing on breast cancer awareness.
Exactly.
Well, hey, motherfuckers, we understand that white lives matter. We're focusing on black lives because those are the lives that are being targeted right now.
Yeah. White lives are not in danger, and they've never been in danger. And
never been in danger ever
I mean,
since the never time.
At least not in America. So yeah.
You can't tell me a part of the world where they have been in danger.
Yeah, and anytime they have been in danger, it's been by other
because they
lives.
colonize every other part of the world. So how's the person colonizing the motherfucker in danger?
Man, speaking of colonization, Monday is Happy Colonizer Day.
Oh, is that what it is? I don't pay attention to what holidays or what.
It's Columbus Day, which is also now referred to as Indigenous Peoples Day.
I mean, I get it. I'm just saying I didn't know that it was on Monday because I don't pay attention to when certain holidays are.
Because it's one of the holidays that don't matter.
Yeah, it's just
wait.
It's just one of those days.
Rich, all holidays matter, bro. What the fuck?
I'm gonna argue that they don't. I'm gonna argue that a lot of them, majority of them, do not matter at one fucking bit. Because if that was the case, we'd get off of work on every fucking holiday. That's how you know that not all holidays are created equal, and not all holidays people give a fuck about. I'm telling you right now.
Because Brittany playing you in the comments.
Stop it.
You gotta know them kids ain't going to school on Monday. I shouldn't have said nothing. You was gonna be mad as hell.
They ain't got to go to school. They just can't stay here. I don't give a damn if you spend all day at the park. Man, I don't give a shit.
Hell,
skip on that day. I don't care. You're not staying here.
Man.
Just so they know that. They will not be here on Monday. They will go to your grandmother's house. That's what I do. Send them to your grandmother's house on Monday. Or send them to your cousin. Somebody. You just can't stay here.
You know grandma want them. Come on, baby.
That's half the problem. That's why they want to go any damn way.
Yeah,
my issue is that my grandmother lives about an hour, 50 minutes to an hour from where I'm at right now. Okay. So when they want to go, I'm like, bro, I'm not driving 50 minutes all the way over there. Like, for what?
Man,
Dad, you gonna pick us up, man? Hell no. Y'all better find a way.
Man, you better go ahead and take them kids to see grandma. Don't play.
Shit. I get in trouble because I haven't been by to see it.
Exactly.
Well, it's nice to see you too. First off, you have to live in Houston to understand that 50 minutes no traffic turns into an hour 10 with traffic. It is I swear to God.
I don't have to understand traffic.
Last night, yes, you do. If you don't live in Houston, you don't understand traffic. Your traffic, all traffics are not built the same. I'm telling you that right now. I spent 3 hours. This is not an exaggeration.
I put Houston traffic against Detroit construction any day.
Nah, stop it.
It took me 50 minutes today to make a 30-minute drive.
Okay, that's because a normal day for you. That's a normal day in Houston. Takes you have to leave 20 to 30 minutes before you're supposed to leave to make it any fucking where. That's Houston altogether. Houston is an hour from Houston. You understand that, right? Like, I just want y'all to know that. Kanye does not have a mental illness.
He has Kanye has a mental illness, but he's not responsibly taking care of his illness. And that's the thing. It's been, I'm a big Kanye fan. I've been on here talking about I'm a big Kanye fan before in terms of his music, right? And I've said, I'm not sure if I've said it here or just in general, but it seemed like things really switched when his mom passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to say anything against mental health or depression or anything like that, but it's been 15 years. At some point, you got to help yourself. And
Brad, don't tell them that, because then they're gonna think that you don't understand what they go through. So don't tell them that they also have to take responsibility for their shit as well. They're gonna be like, no, you don't understand me.
Well, If you think that way, then too bad for you. Um, um, I mean, I don't mean to be a jerk, but I mean, it's just like you can't keep doing the same
Mm,
thing. Like in
mm.
2009, it was
Michelle just
2009.
said he's
Yeah.
intellectually lazy. He has no mental illness. He's just
Ooh.
a lazy person. He's
Ooh.
intellectually lazy, meaning he don't want to know. He doesn't care to know about what's going on in the world.
Yeah. A lot of people are like that.
You know, but not to get too far back, I'm not an exaggeration. I literally spent 3 hours on the freeway yesterday in standstill traffic. Dead
he
ass.
said, he said, "I'm gonna make this point, damn it."
I did. I spent 3 hours, not an exaggeration. I sat on the freeway for 3 hours. Everybody getting out of their car, they chilling, sitting on the hoods, waiting for this shit to pass. But apparently, an 18-wheeler had hit a U-Haul truck, which also hit another truck. And,
Okay,
you know,
that's not traffic. That's Satan working against your behalf. The hell, a
it's
semi
not
fell on a
Satan.
U-Haul?
It's not Satan when it happens every day. There's an accident on 45 every fucking day. That's not Satan. That's people not knowing how to drive. He is a musical genius. I will clarify that. Kanye is a musical genius, but a retarded person. Let's just point that out. I'm sorry. Oh,
We're
I shouldn't
not.
say that
We're
word.
not.
He's a musical genius, but he has special issues in
Edit
his
that
mental
out,
brain.
Jamal.
Yeah. You can't edit, it's live.
Delete and re-upload later.
Delete, in broadcast, delete.
Your ass gonna get canceled for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Brittany's sick.
Man.
But yeah, I don't understand Kanye. Cause then he brought in who was it? Uh was it Lauren Hill's daughter that was
I
next
saw
to him?
I saw something about that. Well, it was Candace Owens that was next to him, which that is just.
Yeah, but we that's a we know that already. We don't claim Candace Owens. It was Lauren Hill's daughter, yeah.
But there was a picture with
That's
Lauryn Hill's daughter. Yes.
yeah, but we know Candace Owens. This shit ain't it's not a surprise from Candace Owens at all.
No, she. Mm, let
Candace
me be
Owens
nice.
is now. I'm not gonna argue. Candace Owens sometimes, not a lot of times, sometimes makes a good point. And some shit, I'm like, I can see that. I can see that happening. I can see why she thinks that way. I do believe that both the Democratic and Republican Party are both shit parties, but I believe that the Democratic Party tries to sell you wolf cookies, right? At least we know that the Republicans are pieces of shit because they tell you this. They look you in the eye and they say, "Hey, we are racist pieces of shit. We know this. We're gonna tell you this from the very fucking beginning." But the Democrats will be like, "Oh no, I'm not racist. What are you talking about?" And then be one of the most racist motherfuckers there is.
I don't. I think that the history of the Democratic Party is very racist. Um,
I would
not.
agree that in totality, Candace Owens as a person and 95.7% of the shit she says makes absolutely zero sense.
You know what happens with people like Candace Owens? She can say the dumbest shit. But when she talks, she looks directly in the camera and she talks like this with the stern voice and that she means what she says and she never stammers when she speaks and she speaks clearly and she speaks eloquently. And because she says it and because it sounds so aggressive, it makes her seem like she's smart.
Mm-hmm. Confidence make make a dumb motherfucker sound smart. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah. Yeah.
99.99% wrong.
She be wrong as shit.
The only thing she get right is how to say her name. Candace Owens.
I don't know. It's Candace. She spelled it with an A, don't she? She said
I don't know, man.
that point girl wasn't her
Ryan,
race.
the comedian Ryan Davis, hilarious dude,
Love that dude.
says that people like Candace Owens, right? It's our fault that people like Candace Owens exist because we didn't embrace our nerd black friends, right? And so what happened was is because we didn't embrace the nerd black people and because we made fun of them instead, they can split in one of two ways. They can embrace that, still go to their black culture and be like, you know what, yeah, I talk shit. I'm gonna learn to talk shit too. Or there's the Candace Owens where you then go and you try to become white because the white people aren't the ones making fun of you, it's the black people. You see what I'm saying? So now she tries to relate everything or try to get rid of as much as blackness about her as much as possible. Right. And
Mm.
so he was saying we have to learn to embrace those nerd black people that we have that we meet in school and places like that, because if not, they're going to end up being the Candace Owens of the world.
I love Ryan Davis's comedy. I think he's intelligent, but that shit sounds stupid to me. Oh, because we're not gonna let you hang around, you gonna just go ahead and be a coon? Nah, like
I mean, but that's happened before. I've seen that there's two ways it could split. You could either still be like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with black culture, or I've seen black nerds like, no, because we get picked on so much by black people, I'm going to do this. It's the same with the black guy that never dates black women because when he tried to date black women, they all turned him down. So then now he only exclusively dates white, Hispanic, or Asian women because his experience with the black woman has never been good. Now, I'm not saying people out there in the internet world, I'm not saying that he should do that. What I'm saying is that's how he's created. Now, whether he does that shit or not, I'm saying that's what happens.
all right, I get it. I get it. It's reductive as hell, but I get it.
I'm just saying that's what happens, you know?
Comments are hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, man, what else happened this week? My brain is just.
She said, is Candace smart enough to be considered a nerd?
I would say the answer is no.
Oh, man. Growing up, probably. Because she probably knew shit that normal black folk growing up in the hood didn't know. And if you know shit that we don't know, then we call you a nerd. So, it just depends.
Um, what else happened this week? Why am I tripping?
A lot of shit happened this week. To be quite honest, that's just the most recent shit that we all got on. But what's happening out there in Michigan?
Man, not shit really. We have in Michigan, just on some serious type stuff. We have legitimately have abortion on the ballot. Um,
To do
when
what?
when Roe v. Wade, yeah, when Roe v. Wade got overturned, there was a law that was basically a total ban on abortion. Um,
Mm-hmm.
here in Michigan from 1931 that became active almost immediately. Um, and then our governor was suing in court to try to make it not happen. It went back and forth. Now it's on the ballot. It's either Proposition 2 or Proposition 3 that's
Mm-hmm.
on our ballot for next month. Our governor, she's running for reelection. She's the Democrat. The Republican candidate for governor, also a woman. So we're going to either keep our second female governor ever or get our third female governor. But the Republican that's running, she has said on video that she supports a total and complete ban for abortion, no matter what the situation is, um,
Mm-hmm.
including rape and incest. Like she was asked that, and she said no exceptions. Um,
Mm.
yeah. So I mean, that's really what's happening here in Michigan. I know there's some stuff that happened that was crazy this week, and I just
Yeah. So New York declared a state of emergency
yes,
because of the influx of immigrants being
yes,
sent from Texas to New York because our governor thought it was funny to say, "Oh, because New York's the VP said that we don't have an immigrant problem. Governor of Texas says, bullshit, we do," uh, and sent them all to her, and then they all went up to New York, and
hmm
now New York is declaring a state of emergency because they don't have a way to house, feed, and sustain the influx of illegal immigrants.
yeah.
So now here comes the question: should they send them back to Mexico?
That's a damn lose lose if you're a Democrat. You leave them on the
Because
streets. Or you deport
Do
them.
you leave them on the streets where now the state has to, you'll have you have to deal with certain issues when it comes to panhandling and stuff like that. Wait, what? Hold on, I'm reading something.
Yeah. I see that. So I mean, yeah, you got that, but then like the part where you're just like sending people so far away, like if you're in New York with no money and no, nothing, you don't have a way to realistically get back to Mexico unless you get deported. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting back home.
But wasn't the goal, since because they came through Texas, so it's not like we grabbed them from Mexico and sent to New York.
True.
They crossed the border into Texas, so they want to be in the United States. They want to be here.
Yeah. You know what?
So now,
And now you just helped me remember. I was listening to something on this a week or so ago, when it first started jumping off. They sent a bunch of people to was it Connecticut, Massachusetts, somewhere northeast, Vermont, um, and like some of them found jobs and like they got money coming in and it's actually like working out. I'm
mm-hmm.
forgetting the details. This is like a week and a half ago. I listened to it, but it's just that one's just a ugly no matter what. Um, Biden, he pardoned federal weed offenses.
He plans on doing it. He ain't did it yet. We'll see how many people actually get pardoned from, weed offenses or,
He used
weed related offenses. But now here's my thing, right? What do you do about those? Because you'll expunge people's records. But what about the stuff that they've had to endure because of that? You see what I'm saying? Like, do you reimburse them? Is there what they call it? Reparations because because their record was affected by this in the first place, or do you just kind of like, no, we're just going to expunge your record and that's it? What about the people that are in jail?
Well, so what he said was, if I remember reading it correctly, it was from 2001 on forward, all federal
Mm-hmm.
charges would be pardoned.
So it
So,
won't be. So it's not a felony.
right. So, what that means in your state is different. Um,
Mm-hmm.
was it 30 years, Brittany? So 2000. So then that would be 1992. I thought it was 2001, but if it's 1992, that's going even further back. Michelle, if you're still in the comments, speak up. We know you know this. Um, but you're asking great questions, but I don't want to ask those questions in 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 lieu of highlighting what that does accomplish. Like getting that stuff off your record is going to be life changing for some people. There's people that like you can't rent a house because you got a
Mm-hmm.
felony. You can't get a job. I used to work at a place where I used to. Michelle says she don't know, but thanks for having faith in her. um, um, there. I used to work at a job where I legit just could not hire people if you had a felony. Like, just couldn't hire you. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Flat out.
But see, that affects that ultimately could affect how my life goes, right? If I'm applying for your job and then I don't get it because you couldn't hire me because I was a felony because of that, you know,
Yeah.
trickle effects start happening and it all trickles down. So then what? So
Yeah.
like, do you just tell people my bad for the last 30 years? Like my bad. Or what do you do to help fix this?
Yeah. And
Or do you believe that expunging it is just good enough?
that's what I'm saying. It's like you're making good points. I don't have an answer for that,
Mm,
but it's still big that it happened.
right. Or that it's supposed to happen. He ain't done it yet. We'll see when it actually happens. He been talking about getting rid of fucking college debt for the longest too, but we'll see. There was the
I mean, it
and I
is
pressed
midterm
out
season.
for the shooting in Thailand. That happened. I didn't get the full story on that, but I just heard that there was a gunman went into a school and
I heard that this
killed over
morning, like
30
in passing.
people.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they
killed
said it
over
was
30
the.
people in there. And a lot of them were kids.
I forget if they said it was the largest or the most or the largest mass shooting in Thailand, or it might
Mm-hmm.
have been the largest mass shooting not in the United States. It might be both for all that matter.
Uh, I don't think it's that one. Because there was one in one of the England countries not too long ago, and I think that one was like 50 plus people. A gunman. They made a movie about it. They made a movie about it. The gunman,
I remember
he
a massive stabbing, but I remember it was like
no.
14 people
So
got
he was a
stabbed.
gunman in the movie. He's a gunman, and what he does is he pretends to be a cop, right? And they let him on the boat, and then he tells the two people like, hey, don't worry about sending reinforcements, or reinforcements are back up here, right? And then so he goes over, and there's like a church outing, like a school outing with a bunch of teenagers and everybody on an island up. So you take the ferry to the island, but when he got to the island, he killed the two like uh supervisors there. So he killed them too. So now no one knows that he's on the island with guns and everything else. Nobody else knows that. And then he just shows up, and legit people are like, they're playing games in the woods and stuff like that. And then out of nowhere, you just start seeing people fall. And then you hear gunshots. And then one of them is he walked into a room, a cabin with people hiding, walked in, closed the door, and killed everybody in the cabin. He was standing on top of the cliff. Kids are trying to, they falling from the cliff, trying to make their way. One kid was shot like 11 times. He survived. I can't remember the name of that movie. But it was a tough movie. If you don't like watching people get shot, you can't watch it because it's a tough movie.
I see the Plymouth shooting, which took place in the UK of August 21st, or I'm sorry, August 12th of last year. And then
No, no, no,
he shot 6 people, including himself.
no, not that.
All right, I don't know what you're talking about then.
Man, I can't remember what country it is.
Um,
Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can find it.
but yeah, I mean, nonetheless, man, that's crazy. Um, there's been a lot of like nuclear weapons
Mm-hmm.
between like was it South Korea or North Korea that was shooting them? Maybe.
Oh, North Korea kept shooting missiles over Japan. They shot one over Japan. They shot another one, and this was pretty much right after the UK meeting that they had, where they're kind of like, hey, everyone just chill out.
Man, we got a crazy world, man. And this shit will.
Norway, over 70 people were killed in a Norway terrorist attack. It was Norway. I think it's
Okay.
called is it called 20? Yeah, it's called 22 July.
Woo. Okay.
Yep. And it's Norway worst terrorist attack in history.
Wow.
Yeah, and it happened. So obviously, it happened on the 22nd of July. But what happened was, it's like there was a bomb that went off in a building, and then as that bomb went off in the building, killed some people. That was the distraction, keeping them away from the guy that went over and crossed the ferry, took the ferry, crossed over to the island to kill more people.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was a Norway terrorist attack which killed over 70 people. So, but that was a pretty big one. That's one of the biggest ones in the world.
Now we got something that's far less depressing and somehow more violent. Today is the 30-year anniversary of the debut of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely more violent. I love Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat. Talk about games that we weren't allowed to play, but played them anyway.
Bro,
Mortal Kombat was one of them. Right next to Grand Theft Auto. We weren't allowed to play that either, but we played it. So,
I was
but
6 when Mortal Kombat came out.
you were 6?
Yes.
Felt like you'd be a lot older than that.
Fuck you. You know what? It's on site, bro. It's on site.
Yeah, I think. When Mortal Kombat come out? 98.
Today is the 30-year anniversary of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, well, it's 30 years from today, then, nigga.
I said
92.
98.
What's 30 years from today, nigga? 92. You were 6 in 92?
Yes.
Damn, you old.
Shut up. Brittany,
Well, thank you, Brittany, for letting us know it's 92 because Brittany was also 6 at the time as well.
Brittany wasn't 6; she was
6.
Might have been 6.
16.
Oh!
16. Now I was only 2.
Yeah,
but Mortal Kombat, and it came out on the Super Nintendo.
So today is the arcade release. So it came out on Super Nintendo and Sega shortly thereafter. I gotta imagine it had to come out before Christmas. It had to.
Yeah, you want most games to come out before Christmas, because that's when people buy a lot of them shit.
Today was the arcade drop.
Okay.
October 8th,
man. Yeah, I'm
a
ride with Scorpion till the wheels fall off. So
yeah.
Scorpion is my dude.
Sub-Zero, Liu Kang. Man, that first game.
And I loved how the story flowed up until like these recent ones, like after XL and shit like that. Then the story just kind of went fucking everywhere.
Well, you got to remember,
the story followed for a while.
You got to remember, after Armageddon, it's a restart and it's a retelling of the story. So
yeah.
So the Mortal Kombat 9, the one that came out in 2011, that was a blend of Mortal Kombat's 1, 2, and 3, but it was a retelling of it. And then Mortal Kombat XL is like a retelling of Mortal Kombat 4. And then now we're just into this whole new. The story is just continued, but it's just in a whole different path now. Like we're not on we're not on Deadly Alliance. We're not on none of that anymore. Like it's just a whole different.
Them games was legit. That's how I learned how to play chess. Mortal Kombat.
How?
And I think it was Deadly Alliance that had a chess game inside of it, and you could only move like actual chess pieces. But when you actually get ready to take over it, you fought in the actual game, and then boom, the Mortal Kombat one that gave you which one that allowed you to have weapons in it?
Deadly Alliance. Well, Mortal Kombat 4 was the first one that let you have weapons.
No, man, I'm talking about shit was nice. I mean, nice. Talk about, and that shit was almost like at that time it was like the peak of gaming. Like they had crossed over to like the new graphic world for gaming.
Yep.
At that time frame.
Because Mortal Kombat 4 was the first one that was on the original PlayStation and on Nintendo 64.
Mm-hmm.
Now
and then it was. Woof, the shit was legit.
Man, there used to be in the area I grew up in. There used to be a corner store in the neighborhood, and they would have arcade machines. And I remember they had Mortal Kombat 3 on arcade, and back then the game would come out on arcade before it came out, on the system. And I remember they was playing it on arcade, and Sub-Zero ain't have no mask on. It was like, the hell is this? Why you ain't got no mask on no more? Where's Scorpion? Like, man.
They're like their clan versions of them without their mask on.
Lin Kuei.
Yeah, yep. And now the movies was even better. You seen the Scorpion movie?
I know I have, but I don't remember. No, the animated movie I actually have not seen.
You should watch that one. And then, of course, the Mortal Kombat movie that came out. That they're supposed to be making a part 2 as well.
You talking about? You talking about the 2021 movie? I thought you were talking about the original movie. I enjoyed the 2021 movie.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 2021 movie. I enjoyed the original movie in like '96 when the shit came out. Now I can't watch it. It's too stupid now.
Yeah.
But back then, when I was a kid, it was legit. But I was talking about this past one that just came out last year. That one was nice.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like the intro to it. Where you got Sub-Zero or you got Scorpion, in the village. They all chilling, and all of a sudden you got this huge ass fight scene that comes out, and it's
Right.
like, oh, okay, this shit's nice.
Yeah, man.
So
I love it, man.
it was
Which one?
fun.
Which one do you prefer, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Mortal Kombat. I would
What?
prefer Mortal Kombat. Street. Don't get me wrong. Street Fighter is like it's right there with it. Don't like
Yeah.
it ain't. It don't you can. It ain't nothing to scoff at. Like you're like, oh no, Mortal Kombat is leaps and bounds. No, hell no. It's not leaps and bounds of nothing over Street Fighter. I
Yeah.
would put that shit like it's almost like what type of cookie do you like? You know what I'm saying? You like peanut butter cookie, you like sugar cookie, you like chocolate chip cookie. Like it's almost like that. They still cookies. They all delicious as fuck.
Yeah, man.
You know, now it's just a preference at the end of that. You
I'm with
know.
you. I always tell people, like, man, like my age is the perfect age to grow up with video
Mm-hmm.
games. I had Mortal Kombat, I had Street Fighter, then I had Tekken when it was brand new.
Oh, Tekken, and then I liked how Tekken used to always be followed up with a cartoon animation movie or something like that afterwards. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like, hey, Tekken was it. Like,
But bro, like we had so many great games for just fighting games alone when I was a kid. Virtua Fighter was great. Um, like
let me
Marvel
see if
vs.
you're gonna let me go see if you're gonna actually name the good ones.
What do you want me to name?
No, name them, name them. I want to see if you're gonna actually name the
I
good
want
ones.
to go name no more. I was getting ready to talk about how like a lot of people like Marvel vs. Capcom these days,
Mm-hmm.
but before Marvel vs. Capcom was Marvel vs. Street Fighter, and before Marvel vs. Street Fighter was X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Great
Mm-hmm.
games, great games, great
Mm-hmm.
games back in the day.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean,
what do you want me to name? Because Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and Tekken, that's one. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat go back and forth between 1 and 2, depending on how you feel on the day. Tekken's number
I
3 is best
mean,
fighting
for
game.
me, the greatest fighting game like of all time, my goat would be Marvel versus Capcom 2.
Okay.
And that's through the sheer roster selection. After that, it's Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 or 10, yeah, Budokai 3. That roster selection was redunculous. Like that was the whole Dragon Ball Z series in it. Now, after that, then you can start like nitpicking, but I don't think any fighting game was better than Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
From a nostalgia perspective, with roster, it's gonna be hard to beat Mortal Kombat Trilogy for me. Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the original PlayStation had
Mm-hmm.
every Mortal Kombat character created to that point, including classic versions of Kano, classic versions of Raiden. Um, it had classic Sub Zero and unmasked Sub Zero as two separate characters. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the PlayStation version had both versions, PlayStation and the Sub 64, had a secret character named Chameleon. On PlayStation, Chameleon would flip in between all of the Lin Kuei ninjas. On the
Mm-hmm.
64, it would flip between all of the female ninjas, Katana, Melina, and Jade.
Mm.
But from
Yeah.
a roster
And then
perspective,
not to and like an honorary mention would be like Killer Instinct. Like Killer
Killer
Instinct
Instinct
was
was incredibly fun. I was
like,
saying, like you can't, bro. Soul Calibur,
oh, gangster, gangster, like sure gangster. But then not to mention, let me get one of the most modern games, which is arguably one of the goats now, is uh Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
I ain't played that, so I'll take your word
Bro,
for it.
bro, the shit is like one of like talk about online played games. This shit is ridiculous. Like people, motherfuckers still playing that. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, motherfuckers are still playing that. For as far
Hey,
as like online playing games,
right.
alone, yeah, like shit crazy.
Hey, best game ever is Parappa the Rapper. That was playing. So we are sponsored by RDI Financial, where you can't help broke people being broke playing Parappa the Rapper in 2022.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell you how to get money or help you get money when I ain't got none of my damn self. How they look? You
You
know,
look silly.
that's like the backhand slogan for it. You know what I'm saying? You look silly as fuck.
Oh shit. Oh
Mm.
man.
But that's gonna wrap it up for the night, y'all.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
like always, stay safe. You know what I'm saying? Out there, keep your head on the swivel. As we in the military say, make sure you know what I'm saying you can watch yourself, take care of yourself and your family, take care of your kids, kiss your loved ones good night. It ain't never too late to tell somebody I love you and I'm sorry. That's the longest outro I've ever done.
Stay
But at the
safe,
end of the day,
stay healthy, and stay unapologetically black.
there we go. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be good.
Be smooth.